Hello everyone. In this full moon appointment for the Healing the Healer series, we explore the balance between opening ourselves to those subtle dimensions of existence which we usually call spiritual and can be related to intuition, inspiration, or connection to the wholeness, and the practicality of our daily life. We started this cycle of appointments with the opposite combination, Sun in Virgo and Moon in Pisces. Okay, now it's reversed. We explored the myth of Chiron, the wounded healer, and the importance of taking care of ourselves before taking care of others. This time, we explore some topics related to the importance of being simple while remembering that we are part of a whole. Do you remember that sentence about those who see the single tree but miss the forest? Again, it's a matter of balance. In this case, the balance between looking at the single tree and at the forest at the same time. Let's say that Pisces energy with Neptune ruling is compassionate, empathic, and very good at noticing the big picture, the forest. Neptune suggests an opening to wholeness, to concepts related to what is beyond our earthly life. But its energy is prone to generalization and can make everything a bit blurry and vague and even push us towards anything fantastic. Virgo is more detail oriented, meaning very good at seeing the single tree and to approach everything through a very grounded and logical perspective. Also, because Virgo reminds us of our body as the vehicle enabling us to live spiritual experiences. Okay, so to make this a bit more practical, did you ever notice how things change if you focus on a detail or if you look at it with your peripheral vision? Give it a try by looking, for example, at an image or this video. Focus on one detail, then expand your intention to see the whole picture. Expand your vision. And then do the opposite. Start by looking at the whole image, the whole picture, and then focus your gaze on one detail. What are you noticing? What is easier for you? Then you can train yourself, play with this, and do this. Especially the less easy phase, the thing that is not really easy for you, because there is nothing like the bodily experience to help us understand and integrate and so embody any concept. So play with this, from abstraction, Neptune, to practice, from Pisces to Virgo. This is exactly what we are speaking about today, okay? This full moon is also about another couple of very interesting topics. Do you remember that actually another sentence about something like that sounds like to those who have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Yeah, because you have a hammer and let's, okay? So yes, this full moon invites us to avoid projection, okay? Sometimes our intuition is conditioned by our own life experience or expectations. Are we generalizing? Everything looks like a nail and so I can hammer around. Are we projecting too much of ourselves onto our clients? Most of the time, we indeed seem to attract those who suffered from something similar to our situation, okay? What we suffered from in the past. That's very common because those are the people we can help. We know. But this doesn't mean that what helped us can help them too. We need to remember that everyone has a different, very personal story. Okay, so this is a very good moment to observe and even scrutinize, with the help of Virgo, the moon in Virgo, our attitude about reading a situation through the lens of objectivity or interpreting it through the lens of our very personal experience. Okay, but above all, and here I come to the last invitation from this full moon for today, stop chasing special effects. I hear about, a lot of people ask me how I can have dreams like, or astral travels, or read the aura, or read the chakra. There is so much confusion about spirituality and what I call special effects, meaning those perceptions, so let's say those experiences related to extraordinary events like intuitions, psychism, perception of something usually for most of the people intangible, like auras, chakras, or premonitions, and even what is called attraction or manifestation, etc., etc., etc. Sometimes these experiences are like a catalyst bringing people to explore what is beyond their belief system, to open their mind to something else. But spirituality is not about getting some extraordinary experience beyond our daily life. It's about knowing ourselves, our ego, and mastering our responses while living our daily life. It's about recognizing and taming our ego and putting it at the service of our consciousness. So spirituality is not necessarily about the knowledge of subtle energies and how they work, or seeing or perceiving the ghosts, or like the fairies, or yes, you can, it can happen, sure, but it's not about that. Okay. Moreover, do you watch films or series? Did you notice that villains can also master subtle energies and exhibit superpowers? So don't confuse some skills or tools with the path, the spiritual path. Spiritual masters don't make a difference between their lives and their spiritual path. They live their life doing the best to be good humans, good to other people. They are not interested in performing miracles or in special effects. They live in simplicity. Spirituality doesn't depend on what we know about the invisible realms. We can feel attracted, of course, but it doesn't depend on special effects. Those effects we would be willing to produce or we can experience, like the ability to channel information from the unseen, or to read people's chakras or auras, or things like that. Okay, spirituality is something much more connected to being constantly committed to self-improvement by observing and taming our ego, than to moving through dimensions less tangible than the earthly one. So that means observing ourselves and our actions with other people, with and working to increase our self-awareness, presence, and sense of community. Being spiritual means not only to stay open to an idea of reality beyond our senses, but also to stay grounded, finding a practical application to any big idea of or spiritual mystic revelation. In other words, trust your perceptions, but remember that it can be the fruit of your desire, imagination, or projection. And always ask yourself how you can make any event, even those you feel special, useful to yourself and others beyond your ego's desires. Okay? You don't need special effects and amaze people to serve your community as a healer or whatever you do. The best way to be at the service of your community is to know who you are and share your unique talents and skills, maybe also very practical, in the simplest, most grounded and practical way. Okay? Okay, so now let's proceed with our meditation to experience what I spoke about. This time you need a simple stone or a crystal if you want. The moon is in Virgo, a earth sign, so we can think of something earth related. Take your time to get your stone, pause the video if you want, and find it. If you don't have anything, well, you can just imagine it, okay? Imagine you have your stone, and imagine to place your stone in front of you or to hold it in your hands as you like. Okay, let's start. I suggest you sit in a comfortable way, but if you prefer to lie down, do it and just imagine of sit. And close your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, then keep them slightly open. Okay? And then keep breathing in and out, noticing your waistline expanding every time you breathe in. During the exhalation, gently push your sit bones against the surface you are sitting on to feel your trunk supported and your spine rising. Imagine yourself immersed in the calmness of nature, in a place where you feel perfectly safe. It's a chilly night at the end of winter, but your warm, thick clothes protect you, making you feel comfortable and allowing you to focus on the mysterious sounds of nature all around you. With the eyes of your imagination, look around. The snow is still there, covering everything like a candid blanket, but you notice that it's already melting because you can hear the sound of water drops dripping from the trees. And here it is, a beautiful, strong, majestic tree whose powerful roots dive into the ground. Its trunk looks strong and alive, and its branches extend toward the sky. Close to the tree, beneath a thin layer of ice melting, there is a creek running. You can hear it clearly, and you can see parts of it with the glimmers of its waters reflecting the moonlight. You are holding a stone in your hands, which somehow seems to transmit warmth from the depth of Mother Earth. You feel drawn to the tree, called to sit there on the soft snow, protected by your warm clothes. And so you sit among the tree's roots, with your back against its trunk, holding your stone. The support of the tree's roots and trunk merges with the support of your sit bones, pelvis, and spine, and you feel deeply grounded as though the tree's roots were your own. At the same time, you clearly perceive a comfortable warmth coming from the tree. You keep hearing the gentle sound of the creek running and the water dripping from the tree's branches. As you sit there listening to these sounds, you begin focusing on your breathing and on your heartbeat. Let yourself be rocked by the rhythm of your heartbeat, becoming aware of the pulsation of your blood running through your vessels, like hidden rivers and creeks, carrying oxygen and life. Then, with the eyes of your imagination, you look up at the sky. You see the magical bright full moon surrounded by stars. Suddenly you sense the moon and the space around it as a portal to essentiality, clarity, simplicity, ease, and healing. You realize that you can open yourself to wholeness while remaining in touch with yourself and your body. You clearly perceive that the more you are in touch with yourself through your body, the more you are connected with the whole universe. Your body is the sacred instrument through which you experience your spiritual nature in practical life. Suddenly, in your hands, you feel the stone pulsing. It reminds you of the power of a sprouting seed. It reminds you that the end of winter is the prelude to spring, rebirth, and regeneration. The moonlight carries a spark that awakens your senses, and you understand that your physical senses are doors through which you access consciousness. You feel these as the moonlight touches your head, face, and body. You sense this awakening power flowing gently but powerfully from the top of your head, your crown, through your spine and trunk, down to your roots. This flow clears your mind, sharpens your vision, enhances your perceptions, and brings new energy to your physical body. In a glimpse beyond space and time, you become aware of the coming spring hidden within the winter, and of the coexistence of opposites, because all is one. In the bright full moon shining in the darkness of the night, you now see the reflection of the sun and suddenly become aware of the bright day existing on the opposite side of Earth. Now you realize that you can integrate grounding earthly energy with a sense of belonging to a much larger dimension of being. Through your senses, you perceive what lies beyond the senses, something that feels like an ocean of love and compassion, completely fulfilling. And then you return to your body, bringing in and embodying this sense of wholeness. Breathe in, feeling your waistline, and imagine attracting into the space of your heart the most pleasant, awakening, fulfilling sensations carried by the moonlight. A spark, a light, warmth, a color, or whatever comes to you. As you breathe out from the space of your heart, send this pleasant, nurturing, awakening sensation to every cell of your body, towards your hands, feet, head and skin. Then keep breathing in, attracting the light from the moon, and with each exhale, feel this awakening light spreading into the space around your body, creating a protective, nurturing, and luminous healing field. Your senses feel clear and sharpened. Your mind feels calm, while your spirit opens to healing and balance through your body. Now open again the eyes of your imagination and open your hands. You see your stone shining under the full moon's light. Feel that the power of this healing full moon has been transmitted to your stone. Imagine that this stone is now transmitting its energy to your body, sharpening your perceptions and bringing you the clarity of simplicity. Breathe in slowly and deeply. Yawn. Let your voice awaken every cell in your body with 1 or 2 yawns or even more. And begin to gently move your body and rub your hands. Imagine that you can breathe and yawn through every joint. Start moving gently. And now you can open not only the eyes of your imagination but also your physical eyes. And you can keep yawning with me. Move your fingers and hands as if you were caressing and then kneading the air with increasingly stronger movements. Start or keep massaging your hands, and from there you can slowly massage the whole body, keeping yawning. And then you can stretch, imagining that your breath is flowing through your arms and hands and legs and feet and head. It's like you can breathe through your whole body. It's like the breathing is flowing through your body and touching the walls. You can touch the walls by exhaling through your arms and hands and legs and feet and expand. Maybe you can rub your feet against the ground, let the energy flow through the whole body, and now, slowly, slowly, if you want, you can stand up. So, look at me. I will move a bit, as you know that this is the part of the movement activation, very short. So if you feel comfortable, do what I'm doing. Otherwise, just do what feels right and good for you, and just imagine that you are doing the same things I do. Okay. And so you can keep massaging your body just to awaken. You awaken your skin. You want to awaken your senses. You look around. Imagine that you can really attract the light through your eyes. You attract the light, and maybe when you exhale, you can imagine that you are projecting light all around, and awaken your, not just your ears, but also your hearing. Ask yourself, what are the sounds around me? Maybe just the sound of my breathing, maybe the sound, of course, of my voice. But if you keep yawning, you will also sing your yawn and listen to the sound of your voice. And you can taste the air, you can smell the air, you can keep awakening your senses and your perceptions. So now let's again once more connect to the earth, Virgo, the full moon. Imagine your body like the beautiful tree or any beautiful tree. Imagine your roots from your feet drilling the floor every time you exhale, because when we inhale we want to bend just a little bit our knees, and imagine you smell the air. Imagine you bring in your inhalation through every joint, every joint, and then when you breathe out, the tree grows up toward the moonlight. Okay, so again, we breathe in and we breathe out, drilling with the roots, extending our legs, and opening our crown to the sky. And then we can open to element water. The sun is in Pisces. So feeling our feet and body well grounded, we can imagine our pelvis like a container, a bowl full of water, and we can move the waters. Imagine you are moving the water, the fluids in your body, but you can also imagine your body playing with water. Let's imagine all the elements running through our body, and keep imagining those elements at the same time keep feeling your body. Remember, and sometimes you can rub. Well, when you rub your body, you can also think of element fire. You can for sure awaken, but also warm up. And imagine your body like a dancing flame. And then finally, element air, the connection with our breathing. And today we want to imagine that with our breath, sending it out from our hands, but also from our feet. When we exhale, we really want to touch something very far away, maybe beyond the walls, beyond. You can imagine the biggest space surrounding you. You can also imagine the whole universe around you. But then remember that whatever you perceive, you do this through the sensors in your body. And actually, the more you are in touch with your body and expand, awaken your senses, and the more you can open yourself to perceive something beyond. But again, you come back, you breathe in, and maybe you can express some gratitude for this body that is the instrument of your spiritual experience. And so you can keep breathing in through the door of your heart, and when you breathe out through the door of your heart, you can imagine that all the pleasant sensations you already gathered through the previous meditation or through this movement, you can imagine to spread all this to every cell of your body and everywhere around you. Okay. Now, let's, if you have a stone, you can remember that every time you want to feel connected to both the universe and yourself, maybe this stone, or just the idea of holding a stone, or whatever helps you reconnect with Mother Earth, that's enough. Maybe it's just that, okay? And of course, you can repeat this meditation anytime you want to feel this kind of connection, connection with the whole world. something maybe beyond even your imagination, who knows, and yourself, the, the uniqueness of you, your essence, simple. Hmm? Okay. As usual, well, I will put in the links, maybe I will link somewhere, maybe in the blog post, maybe in the information of the video, an article I wrote for my blog. The title is Am I Spiritual Enough? You can have more inspiration if you didn't read, if you haven't read it yet. Anyway, remember, if you want to support me and my work, you find another link, buy me a coffee or a tea or whatever. And see you next time with a new meditation or something else in between. Feel free to share this video, this post with your friends or anybody who can be interested. Okay? Thank you. See you next time. Bye.